Hey guys, how's it going? It's your boy M.K.S here, back in another video. As I mentioned before on this channel, I'm a big fan of Italian football and Celtic, and I've made a video like this before, a few videos like this before about Italian football, so I thought I'd make the equivalent for Celtic. So I know I've made a few videos about Celtic before, but I thought I'd talk about specifically about the reasons for the case for investing in Celtic. Yeah, hope you enjoy this video, and as ever, I appreciate your views, subscribing to the channel if you're new. And supporting the channel any way you can, including by sharing it and liking it and all that kind of thing. I appreciate that. And if you can leave a comment below, preferably a kind comment or anything you want to comment, please feel free to do so. And especially if it's a positive comment, I will really appreciate it. In fact, as I say, freedom of speech. So if you do want to put hate mail, you can do that as well if you must. But anyway, yeah, so here goes. So I do want to think of 30 ideas, as I normally try and do on these videos. Like I know I do these 3-part videos where I break them up into 3 different videos of 10 ideas each. Obviously, so the videos are not too long. And yeah, so here goes. So I'm going to try and, as I say, think of 30 ideas, although I didn't really think of this idea until recently. So I hope I don't stumble too much on my ideas. But anyway, here goes. As ever, I'd love to hear your least and most favorite ideas or anything else you want to comment in the comment section below. And obviously that's a potential suggestion that you can comment which are your least and most favorite ideas, or if there's any particular ideas that you dislike or like, preferably the latter respectively. I'd really love to know. And here goes. So number 1, we have a huge, I'll say we as a fan have a huge fan base of like cajillions of fans. Okay, maybe not cajillions, but we do have like millions of fans. I'd love to see Celtic have billions of fans worldwide, like across Asia and Africa, developing countries, former colonies and things like that. But yeah, we do have a lot of fans. Some estimates between 9 million and but I'm sure we have a lot more than that. Like we have fans in, let's say we have fans in Japan and hopefully in China and India. We used to have a player from India as well, and that sort of thing. So we have loads and loads of fans. I forgot to say in the intro, I'm not an expert in business or investing at the moment, unfortunately. So I mean, investors obviously would have to look into the returns. Obviously, investors themselves are investing for the sake of making a return, which probably 99.9% of investors do. Will want to know what returns they get, but I think it's well managed as far as I'm aware and has some good profits. Obviously, if people want to if like investors want to get into investing in football and find it interesting, maybe even not just for money, but even for passion or for the love of it. But I'm sure most investors will want profits. But having so many fans, and obviously fans are the ones who pay to watch the games and buy the merchandise and things like that. It's a football club based on passion or for the Irish diaspora in Scotland and around the world, really, with proud Irish roots. So it does have a lot of fans from Ireland and of Irish descent. So it does have a lot of passion. Number 2, again, it's something that new investors could get into if they want to learn about football and investing in football specifically. So I'd love to see wealthy investors, such as maybe even, if I can encourage like people like Warren Buffett from Berkshire Hathaway or people like that to get into football and find out about football. But I know that people like Warren Buffett say that, or Warren Buffett specifically says he only invests in areas he knows about, so he likes to focus, and as he calls it, a circle of competence. But maybe there could be there could be people involved at the club who could talk about to people like Warren Buffett about why they should invest. And also it has some great contributions to the Scottish economy specifically, which brings me on to point number 3, specifically the Celtic political parties, like the SNP, Plaid Cymru and others, as often talked about. I think they have a specific case for investing in Celtic because obviously the Celtic connection, which is where the name comes from, and also especially the SNP or Scottish parties who want to see Scotland do well because of the contributions we make, I say we again, make to the Scottish economy, which can be seen online, like how much Celtic and its fans contribute, like people coming from overseas, how much they contribute to the Scottish economy. Also, obviously, the fans even locally, like when they go to the pubs and things like that, watch the games and buy merchandise and things like that, how much the club itself generates for Scotland. Although I'd love to see Celtic becoming tax exempt for all the charity work it does. Number 4, on that note, again, the charity work the club does for the local and national and even international community in terms of supporting people, including across Africa and Asia, I think definitely possibly investors from parts of Asia and Africa, I think, as well as supporting the club, I think it'd be great to see investors from Asia and Africa because of it's like a mutual benefit. Obviously, the more money the club gets as well, it can reinvest into Africa and hopefully and Asia, and hopefully have a mutual benefit as it does with Ireland and already does in a way with Africa, and hopefully will do so more with Asia as well. So I think that would hopefully be a mutual benefit. Number 5, again, hopefully the club will grow, and I hope that making videos like this and like Googling and going onto YouTube and checking out about Celtic will also hopefully help the brand value to increase, and the share price has increased quite a lot as we have a great manager in N.G.O.s Associations from Australia, who's of Greek Australian descent, and he's done a really good job. So I hope to encourage shareholders and look at where the club can go in the future. Hopefully we can win the league this season. But even if, heaven forbid, we don't, hopefully it will still be that we're in a good position in the future because of what N.G.O.s and Co have done for the club. Number 6, I hope to encourage Italian investors and fans to support Celtic, and also if I encourage more people, hopefully around the world, and if I can somehow recruit more people around the world, if you like, to support Celtic, then hopefully it will again help the brand value, which will make it more worthwhile to invest in. Again, I'd love for the club to be tax exempt as well, and but yeah, I hope that it will be a mutual benefit to both the club and to both Italian football and Celtic. If they work together, maybe wealthy Italians can invest, and also people who are from Celtic families could also perhaps leave funds in their will or money in the will to for the future of the club, to reinvest in buying new players and also invest in the infrastructure of the academies as well as a foundation, and all the other costs that the club incurs. So it help the club financially as much as possible, which is my goal for this really. Mainly, as well as the charitable work. Number 7, again, I think as the fan base improves and increases, hopefully more investors will see that having shares in Celtic and owning a part of equity in the club will be worth quite a lot. So hopefully in the future the club will grow in finances and also, as I say, be worth it. Number 8, again, the passion of the fans. It's a very passionate club, mostly of people of Irish descent, but people around the world who have been supported by the Celtic Foundation, the charitable work the club does, from places like Kenya and across Africa, as well as Asia, and as the club is growing academies as well in those countries, hopefully it will increase the supporters base in those emerging economies, and also very populated countries like Asian nations account for 60% of the world's population. So if we can encourage as many fans from Asia as possible to support Celtic, and people of colour. I myself support Celtic partly as an anti-imperialist and also as a person of colour, because of its connections with anti-imperialism and supporting people from all walks of life and backgrounds, and being open. Obviously, as I say, the club is of Irish descent, but it's very open towards people across the world, and does a lot of charity work, as I say, and hopefully it can continue to do so. And hopefully with those increased funds as well, it can also donate more PCs, laptops, computers, PCs or computers, no, sorry, and tech training as well for people across Africa, as well as doing projects across Asia like water aid, food aid, and helping businesses, startups and things like that, especially in Africa and Asia. And again, I hope that will encourage more investors from those countries and potential shareholders and just general investors because of a mutual benefit. Number 9, I'd love to hear other people's ideas as well about how to encourage investment and encourage the arts, the tifos or what are they called, choreography and that sort of thing, and how that can encourage people to find out about Celtic and its history and be interested in investing. And number 10, especially for the youth work it does and building academies, I'd love to see potential investors investing in academies, which will hopefully help us to build more, or rather develop more players, in the future, which again will be, those players can then be sold on, and it'll also help the club to avoid having to spend so much money on buying players as well, or basically cut costs as well, which again hopefully will make the club financially more viable for potential investors and shareholders generally. And I would love to hear again people, Celtic fans and people from the club itself, talking about what ways we can make the club more investable. And I'd love to see us many tax exemptions and investment from the government itself as well, and even lottery funds and all sorts to help the club attract investment. And I am out. Peace and love.